Hi everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. Once the powerhouse of Europe, Germany experienced a severe economic downturn from which it is not expected to recover anytime soon. The most recent forecast by the International Monetary Fund indicates that Germany's economy will show no growth at all, as of the end of this year, which is still better, believe it or not, than its decline of 0.3% last year. The following year, in 2025, it is expected to barely expand at a rate of 0.8%. Just as we thought that things could not get any worse for Germany after Volkswagen's announcement of factory closures and layoffs of thousands of employees, Germany took yet another hit as its government collapsed. This time, it is quite clear that any hope for a recovery that anyone may have had up until this point is likely gone, at least in the near term, as the country finds itself in a deep political, social, and economic crisis. Olaf Scholz, in a quite typical for him manner to shift blame, said that the multi-front crisis that he is facing domestically is actually the result of Berlin assisting Zelensky. There is some truth to that, yes. Scholz did blame now former finance minister Christian Lindner for refusing to continue funding Zelensky. You may remember Christian Lindner is the one who called Germany the sick man of Europe. According to Scholz, Lindner's position broke down the coalition by polarizing officials and collapsing the German government. So it was Lindner's fault, according to Scholz. Prior to the crisis, Lindner actually moved to limit aid to Ukraine simply by pointing out the obvious fact. He said, look, Germany is no longer in a position to sustain its own economy, let alone fund a war. Well, Scholz disagreed, of course. Olaf Scholz naturally had nothing to do with the crisis, he failed to admit, even though he essentially fired Christian Lindner for refusing to approve a budget that would guarantee further military aid to Ukraine. Besides attempting to force Christian Lindner to approve a budget at the center of which would be continued aid to Ukraine, Scholz also said that now that Donald Trump is in office, or he's returning back to the office, Europeans and particularly Germany will have to increase their support for Ukraine. Lindner, despite his well-known faux pas, still refused to play along and to continue outright ignoring Germany's domestic economic issues at the expense of waging a proxy war on Russia. Annalena Baerbock, Germany's foreign minister, recently explained how Germany's economic crisis began as the result of it providing assistance to Ukraine. She said that 37 billion euros provided to Ukraine had to be cut from Germany's social spending programs. She said that there was a difficult decision made not to finance early childhood programs, among others, so that they can send money to Ukraine. They even had to cut off investments in Germany. Germany had to give up its plans to modernize its infrastructure because it needed to provide billions in military assistance to Ukraine. Here's the clip, take a look.
Warum sind wir in dieser schwierigen ökonomischen Situation? Letztes Jahr hat der Bundeskanzler, haben wir in der Bundesregierung schon gemeinsam besprochen, das geht so nicht weiter. Putin hat es auch darauf angelegt, den Frieden in Europa gegen den Zusammenhalt in unseren Gesellschaften zu stellen. Das ist Teil seiner Strategie, das kann man in allen Medien lesen. Das heißt, in der Situation, wo wir immer stärker reingerutscht sind, wir wollen und müssen die Ukraine unterstützen, um unseren Frieden zu sichern. 37 Milliarden Euro, die waren im Haushalt nie vorgesehen, weil wir immer in Frieden leben wollten. Ja. Die mussten immer bei anderen Bereichen abgeschnitten werden. Bei Sozialen, das waren schmerzhafte Entscheidungen für uns. Wenn wir sagen, wir können zum Beispiel frühkindliche Bildung in der Kita und Schule nicht weiterfinanzieren. Es musste abgeschnitten werden bei Investitionen in unser Land. Volker Wissing zum Beispiel, mein größter Respekt, der endlich die Bahn modernisieren wollte.
Dass Sie das noch sagen würden bei Wissing, ja.
Milliarden, das habe ich schon immer gesagt. Mein Respekt gilt in guten und in schlechten Zeiten immer. Absolut. Also ich unterscheide da nicht populistisch, sondern Milliardeninvestitionen. Wir wollten unser Land modernisieren. Und mit jedem Kriegsmonat mehr mussten wir sagen, zur Ehrlichkeit gehört zu, wir können das nicht alles. Und deswegen hatten wir vor einem Jahr, und zwar SPD und Grüne vorgeschlagen, lasst uns, nachdem das Verfassungsgericht gesagt hat, wir können das mit diesem alten Sondervermögen nicht machen. Wir haben einmal die 100 Milliarden Sondervermögen. Lasst uns jetzt ehrlich sein, dieser Krieg wird leider, weil Putin es nicht will, nicht so schnell zu Ende gehen. Und darüber haben wir intensiv diskutiert. Letztes Jahr im Dezember hat Christian Lindner gesagt, nein, ich mache es anders mit euch. Er hat uns versprochen, wenn in den USA, wenn klar ist, die Unterstützung bricht anderweitig weg, dann können wir noch mal über Notlage neu reden. Dann haben wir das ganze Jahr drüber geredet. So, und irgendwann war vollkommen klar, es geht nicht darum, dass er eine Lösung will.
One could argue that after firing Christian Lindner, under whose watch the economy of Germany did see severe downturns, Scholz created an even bigger political crisis because now the three parties that previously supported him, the Greens, the Social Democrats, and Lindner's Free Democratic Party, are very disappointed with Scholz. With early elections possibly being called in March, just 5 months from now, Olaf Scholz is likely in the worst political position of his entire career, if we can imagine that. Now that only a small minority supports him and Germany's economic crisis has no end in sight, his days in office might be numbered. It will be really interesting to see how this crisis unfolds, but one thing is clear, unless Germany changes its policies and starts to think for itself, any meaningful recovery may not be in sight. Germany's economy has been shrinking for the past 2 years, and now that Germany's companies have started to move production abroad where they can take advantage and enjoy affordable energy resources and friendly regulatory environment, I'm not sure what will provide that much needed boost for Europe's biggest economy to show any signs of recovery. Despite the EU Parliament's calls to decrease reliance on goods and materials that originate in China, European automakers appear to choose sound business decisions, sound business practices over political fantasies, unlike their leaders. The most recent report, which I discussed in great detail several days ago in a separate video, shows that European so-called greenfield investments, which are investments made to establish a new company or to build a new facility abroad, have soared to a record $3.9 billion as of June of this year. So European companies are investing in infrastructure in China because they want to secure their supply chains. Now that German government has collapsed, economic turmoil and political instability may further weaken any chances of a meaningful recovery unless there is a complete change in course, there's a complete turnaround in foreign and domestic politics. Thank you for watching. I hope this quick video was helpful and you learned something from it. If that's the case, show your support, like, subscribe, and share. It goes a long way. Remember to follow me on alternative social media channels. As always, you will find them linked in the description below. And I will see you back here tomorrow. Take care.